How does one start their journey into a hobby? Is it because of the interest of modeling a scene from real life? Or is it because you went to the game store and saw some really cool miniatures? Well, in my case, it was thanks to one video game released in 2002 on the original Xbox. That game was called Mechassault. For young me, this game is what started me down the path of a miniature enthusiast. Okay, that's enough of the emotional sappy crap. Back to our regularly scheduled shitposting. First order of business is if you've ever played any Mechwarrior or Battletech game, you know we need some metal or rock and roll. Cue the music. The game Mechassault stems from the tabletop IP Battletech. Battletech is traditionally a tabletop game where players command hulking war machines called Battlemechs, and these mechs fight in various battle scenarios. 2002 me also had a little brochure that I have since lost. It was advertising a certain game system created by WizKids, Mechwarrior Dark Age. Because I was determined to get the Atlas and Timberwolf, many days were spent researching where I could buy these mechs. Then one day when I walked into a brand new hobby store that opened up near me, I found them in the tabletop section. There it was, the Mechwarrior Dark Age starter set, which I still actually have the original box to. I think you know where this is going. Unfortunately, young me didn't know what a gacha box was, meaning whatever you got was completely random, so you can get either infantry, a tank or flying unit, or even a mech. And I bet you can imagine young me's reaction to this. God damn it. Honestly, I now see that nothing has changed compared to then. It's also one of the few things that I actually kept the boxes for because, yeah, might be faster to just show you. Here's all my infantry, all the tanks, here's some of the flyers I have, and finally, here's my entire Clicky-Tech mech collection. As you can see, I have quite a few mechs, and of course, I also do have all the Ares variants. Although I never really played the game, young me was really sad when eventually WizKids closed down in 2008. But I will always cherish those memories of opening a new pack and getting the same damn aggro mech or mining mech so many times that I wanted a goddamn Atlas. But just so you know, young me did eventually get that Atlas and Timberwolf through sheer determination and all of my allowance. After that, Mechwarrior slowly faded into my memories and there they sat in a drawer for many years. But then in 2012, all systems were nominal with the announcement of Mechwarrior Online. Memories of past me wondered, will there be any new miniatures coming back? And then a quick search from everyone's friend Google revealed the answer was no. The answer was no. But I did find out that Iron Man medals existed, so just to relive some of the nostalgia, I got a dire whale and a blood asp. Little did I know this would be my first adventure into miniature painting, and good job past me. You did pretty good for these being your first miniatures. Unfortunately, I did lose interest in Mechwarrior Online, and they too were forgotten in the drawer. Which now brings us to today. Well, I'm sure some of you are asking, why are you coming back to this after so many years? Well, if you play Warhammer, I'm pretty sure you know why. So since it's a lot cheaper and I already have 2 miniatures, I figured I should pay Iron Man Metals a visit to see if I can get a mech I wanted back in 2012, which was a convention exclusive, the Omega Super Heavy Battlemech. And lucky for me, I could, so I bought one. So now let's go on an adventure of me assembling and painting this miniature. First, if you haven't worked with metal miniatures before, like resin, you need to wash them, although this time we can be a bit more aggressive. So scrub those parts with some warm soapy water, and if you want, you could also use isopropyl alcohol. Now I would show you the process of building it, but because I forgot to turn off desktop sounds for track 6 in OBS, I couldn't use Leecher to get the footage, so here's a TLDR. Clip away any casting gates, sand down imperfections, use a combo of JB Weld and superglue along with some green stuff, and have it in sub-assemblies. And there we go, the model is assembled. Now before we paint, wash it again to get rid of any oils from your hands that may be on it from assembly. Now that the model's all squeaky clean, it's time for me to select what paints I want to use. Of course I chose to paint them the same way I painted my first ones, which is modeled after my old Mechwarrior Online Mercenary Corps colors, blue, black, and white.
Also, remember to always stain your paints. St. Duncan Roads of the Church so 2 thin coats commands you to.
First things first, I painted the metallics since it was the easiest place to decide where the paint would go. So I tried some Vallejo liquid silver, but the smell got so bad even with my air purifier, respirator, and open windows, I stopped using it and went back to lead belcher. But in the process of thinning my lead belcher, I discovered something very interesting. Since I thinned it down a bit too much, I discovered I essentially made a lead belcher glaze, which actually made the metallics look a little bit cooler. I then washed over the metallics using Sacred Known Oils and dry brushed over it with Necron Compound. Next, I used the Baden Black to paint the center torso along with the LB10Xs and some parts of the legs. Then finally, I used Mortian Blue. Damn it, screw you GW pots. Instead, I used MacGuffin Marine Blue, I mean Macragge Blue, which was painted over most of the mech. Then finally, the most painful part, painting white. Since most of GW's white paints are shit, I used Celestra Gray. Then it was time for some dry brushing. For the blue parts, I used Caldor Sky, and the black, Dawnstone. Since I wanted the recesses on the feet to stand out, I pin washed them using contrast paint Griff Charger Gray, and then fixed up any overspill with Celestra Gray again. And then I was able to keep my hands steady enough for some edge highlighting using Ulthuan Gray. And because I'm a dumbass who forgot to record the next day, here's what I did. I fixed up the LB10Xs because I wanted some variation, painted the barrel tips blue, then for the finishing touches I added some decals, and I finally found a use for an Ultra Smurf decal. Then to wrap everything up, I painted 2 thin coats of Lamian Medium as a varnish, and with that, the mini is done. Just kidding, I'm a dumbass, and after making a community post, I realized I forgot to do recess shading on the blue with Druchii Violet. God damn it. Okay, and finally, the miniature is done.
Gaze upon its glory and appreciate its magnificence.
I had a lot of fun revisiting Battletech. I might get more, but first, I think I should finish my Warhammer minis. As always, follow my Twitch to see when I go live. I stream either video games or Warhammer every Wednesday or Friday, sometimes, at 7 PM Pacific Standard Time. Also, follow my Instagram and Twitter to see what I'm working on. I like posting videos using my cool new turntable. And don't forget all the usual YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, because I really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Well everyone, again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next month.